Well, hello there, friends. On this lovely Saturday, late morning, early noon, April 28th, 2018. To be exact with the time, it is 11:09 a.m. We are almost done with April, folks. Almost done with 4 months in the current year, right? Pretty soon, May, then June, and we got summer, and you've got that little bit of hopefulness for the summer. Weather's warm, cute girls out and about. Maybe it'll be your year to get a girlfriend, right? Or something finally change or happen in life. Or like many years past, many summers past, maybe it'll just be another year of you sitting alone in your room, more than likely, right? Been sticking to working out pretty good. Not so much diet-wise, which is probably why I look kind of bloated. But at least I've got half of the puzzle, right? Sticking to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Getting stronger. At least there's that. God, it's noon and you're already falling asleep. Got a big old, it's like got to drink out of a big glass and got to drink coffee out of a big mug. Although maybe I should cut down on the caffeine. I got an email telling me about some of the stuff that it does to your body, which, I feel like I've vaguely come across that before. I don't know. Coffee is one of those things. Feels like every year it goes back and forth. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it good? Is it bad? But I'm going to imagine the quantities that we drink it in the modern age is probably not good, right? So I need to cut down at the very least. Um, but yeah, I've been with my, just alternating between dips. Yeah. And chin-ups. And so with the dips, I'll add push-ups. And regular push-ups are pretty easy, so I just do them with the weighted vest. Like, I've got like almost all the little sand packs in the pouches. So, and same thing after the chin-ups, I go do rows, which I believe there was one user who was congratulating me on doing rows since it works more muscles than something long ago. But yeah, and those are pretty easy, so I have to do them with the weighted vest to feel bigger challenge. But not so much diet-wise, but that's all right. It's all right. We'll get there, folks. What else is going on? I guess as a random side note, I was working on chin-ups in the park. I was using wouldn't call it like, it was one of those like picnic areas. Yeah, I know, picnic areas with like a playground nearby type of things, and there was nobody at the park, so like I went over there to do chin-ups because the bars are pretty low, so I can like work on negatives without having to like jump up and lower myself, because that's how I ended up hurting my elbow doing that last year. So yeah, and there's just like a random dude sitting there with his shoes off, like with his socks on the sand. I don't know. But yeah, at some point he came up to me and started talking to me about like, how do you make your hair look shiny or something? I was like, so randomly chatted to this dude. I might have been probably cruising, but homie, don't play that game. as the kids say. No, it was like, you're from Arizona and selling solar panels or some shit. It was like, oh, do you live in the neighborhood? Like, oh, no, I live far. So that was a random thing. Of course, it couldn't be an attractive girl, right? Or even much less a girl. It just had to be some random, dude. So, I guess I'm trying to collect my thoughts, folks. Haven't made a video here in a while. And maybe won't make another one after this for a while too. So just just trying to take all the random shit in your head and put it together in at least something. So, do you ever do something that sort of vaguely makes sense in the moment, or why you want to do it, but then afterwards you're like, what was the point of that? So there's that one girl that kind of got to know over some time over last year. And, just kind of slowly discover, oh, she's got a boyfriend. Oh, no, she's engaged. And I don't know why it crossed into my mind to do this, but I basically just wanted to tell her that, I enjoy talking to her. I think she's cute. If she wasn't getting married, would have liked to have taken her on a date, but since she is, I wish her and her fiance well, which I know, yeah, oh, I can see all the criticism now. Why would you say that? Why would you this? I know, it seemed good in the moment, even though I guess my reasoning, my thought process for it was like, well, it's this girl that I do like, but it's not in this like weird obsessive one-itis way. It's just like you really like their personality and all that. And I think there's maybe some amount of mutual attraction from her too, a little bit. Otherwise, I don't think she'd like talk to me and blah blah. And it's hard, it's just little things and all that, but and it's more than just what a girl talk to you, you think it means she likes you. Like, no, it's just you're able to joke around, and I definitely tell she was like staring into my eyes at moments. I don't know where I'm going with that, but I feel like I said, I feel like there may have been some at least mutual attraction back a little bit. Although maybe I could be totally wrong. But given the situation, nothing's possible. So I guess it just sort of is what it was. Like, you express legitimate feelings for her, but kind of know that nothing can happen, so you wish them well, which made sense in the moment, and did it on Friday. And here I am on Saturday. I've got the weekend off. It's early noon, and I'm sitting here just kind of thinking about this girl and why I even bothered doing that. What was the point of that? Maybe you could say, oh, maybe in the back of your head, you were secretly sort of hoping you'll put in like a word for yourself. And so like, maybe if something doesn't work out, you'll be next in line or some shit like that, which is, once again, folks, sitting here and thinking about it all, yeah, that's kind of dumb. That's not really how it works, right? This is the side of me that really, when you're kind of generally alone and you have that natural personality that sort of daydreams and goes into fantasy and shit like that, and maybe fall for like media memes, oh, like like maybe in high school, maybe you liked the girl, but you didn't know if she liked you back, and then she sent you a message or something, and it's like blah blah, and you're like, wow, she does like me or something, or maybe you met a girl at work and you didn't know if she was available, and you wanted to ask her out, and you saw if she was on Facebook, and you checked her Facebook, and oh, she has a message that says, why won't this guy at work ask me out, or something. I'm just using dumb examples, but I think you know what I mean. That is not how it works, basically, ever. It is so, at the very least, infrequent. It's honestly not worth the amount of thought and energy that we put into it. And that's one thing, folks, I gotta tell you. This year that I'm really, I think, finally learning. More than likely, for many of us, we will put more mental energy and care about a girl, just in general, than more than likely they'll put back into us, which is sort of a sad thought. I mean, I think in the modern day, men are probably bigger romantics than women, honestly. So, but anyway, I guess I don't know, I guess I wanted to express interest and feelings to a girl, even though I knew nothing could happen, which, like I said, sitting here thinking about it, it's what was truly the point of that now, because all you really did, it's, so how did she, so what was her response? I don't know, she was sort of smiling, I guess, but had on sunglasses, so I don't know what her eyes were doing, but maybe it's but she said, smiled, said, oh, I appreciate it. I shook her hand and we went our separate ways for the day. So yeah, I was thinking about it for a while too, of man, I really want to tell her. And it's what were you expecting? Should stop and say, oh, that's so sweet, blah blah. No, all you really did was basically validate her, provide validation. Oh, well, let's just get married, and believe me, oh, well, guess she's got options, and if you're interested in her, believe me, I'm sure you're not the only asshole who thinks, oh, yeah, if you weren't getting married, I'd sure like to take you on a date. Yeah, I'm sure you're probably the only other guy that feels that way. Or you enjoy talking to her, right? I'm sure there's nobody else out there to do that. So, yeah. And here I am making a video about it, thinking about it, and what was the fucking point? It's like, do you actually think something is gonna happen? Or that they really care, etc.? And this is sort of one thing I've been trying to get better at lately. Because, here and there, folks, I've definitely been talking to women at work. And I'm really working on, it's still a work in progress, really working on shutting that side of my brain off that does the, you talk to them, and, they hold the conversation back, so it's, you feel like there's sort of a back and forth a little bit, right? It's basically stopping that side of your brain that starts to fantasize and puts a lot of or any meaning into it at all. And even just with the ones that you don't have deep conversations with or whatever, it's just, oh, you help this older lady with a big booty, whoo, and she like looked deeply into your eyes for long periods of time, it seems like, and touch your arm when she left, or you helped this other girl something with the books, and she just kind of started chatting with you and had a little personable conversation, or you helped some girl find articles about something and seemed to be kind of blushy, or who knows, it's like none of this means anything, none of this means anything. So, it's just, I think when you're somebody who's generally desperate and don't really have anything going on, and I know why it happens, because your mind is, you're so desperate for somebody in your life that your mind already starts trying to like pair bond and shit with people who like don't even really know you, or you don't really even know them, but well, whatever. But none of this means anything, folks. It never goes anywhere too. You generally don't even like see a bunch of these people ever again. So it's just this wasted time and energy on nothing. It's not really passing the A/B test of results and success. And but I think, I don't know what it is, just something about this year that I'm starting to kind of learn the error of those ways. What the fuck is that? It's like if something doesn't work and has never worked and produces no results, then why do you keep doing it, basically? Just because it like titillates that like nice guy romantic side of your brain or some shit, I don't know. So I guess there's sort of that. And I feel like, ironically enough, this is sort of touching upon the whole where I've said before, where I feel like I've done the best with women when I wasn't thinking about him. And so this is the part where I say you got to turn off that side of your brain that unfortunately wants to put any thought that any of it means something, and maybe that's when you start thinking about it and you act in ways that are not attractive. I don't fucking know. I don't know, man. So yeah, that's mostly just a waste of time and energy. Especially if you've got 2 whole days off from work, right? And I like fantasize about somebody, like maybe they sort of like you, but I'm sure it's nowhere the amount that you are interested in them or any of that shit is. I think I'm also understanding this idea where you hear people, some of the PUAs talk about it, and some of the self-help whatever shit. A sort of idea of, you gotta be on your purpose, and then you'll maybe attract someone in your life. I don't know. being on your purpose makes you a more attractive man or something like that. I don't know. Sorry, I can't help but not say it in a sarcastic manner because, you know, some of this stuff you have no idea if any of it is true or not, or it's just kind of like nice things to say that sound profound. But I think I kind of understand it in that it's not about giving up, not about letting go, and not even about finding hobbies to keep yourself busy. I think it really is sort of finding something meaningful to dedicate yourself to and your time, but like a lot, so that you know, all of the like shitty behavior and thoughts and fantasies like don't have room to come into your head, so to speak. At least for me, you know? At least for me. Because, nothing ever good comes from them. I guess it's like the old idle hands are the devil's playground or something. Something like that. So, I guess there's that. I guess about the last thing I was gonna say is, well, you know what? It's not even really worth talking about. I was gonna say something about, you know, so here's like the, I guess here's like the whole dilemma of your own life and your own shit to figure out, while you're also living in your civilization's decline, right? So not only do you have like this question of your own life to figure out, there's like an overall bigger problem hovering too, right? So it's just these multiple things coming together to completely crush you sometimes, it feels like. And you could argue that, well, you know, it's what the Jordan Peterson argument of clean your room before you can go do something, right? Maybe that's the case. Or you could say, you know, well, I can't do anything about that big stuff, so I'll just focus on myself. And it's maybe understandable in a way, but I guess it's sort of like the lottery, you know. If you don't play, you can't win. But I have nothing meaningful or worthwhile to say about that. So well, that doesn't affect you. Yeah. I guess that's about it. I can't think of anything else. I don't know. Let me try to think for a second and see if there is anything else. No, I guess that's about it. Pointless time and energy gone into thoughts. Well, thoughts, right? You know, just for what reason? For what reason? And why? Oh, I forgot. Yes. Forgot one last thing. So, this idea that, you know, I guess going back to sort of the thought that, you know, maybe sometimes something seems good in the moment, but then afterwards you think about it and wonder, was it really such a good idea at all? I mean, I don't care for my job. I'm burned out and I'm sick of customer service. But at the same time, as much as it drives me insane, if I wasn't doing it, I would literally not be around any people, and especially any women. So I sort of think, sometimes I'm like, damn, man, I just want like a job where I can just be alone and do my own thing and not have to deal with people's shit, etc. But yes, well, that will also mean literally being basically alone. And I mean, then what? Then what interactions are you going to have with people, much less any women, right? I know Johnny Calhoun in one of his videos talked about, I don't know if he tends to be more, his work tends to be more solitary, and literally about the only female interaction he has is going to like the grocery store and like the cashier, some old woman, So there's sort of there's one of my like inner, maybe it's one of my little deep-seated fears about leaving my job is, well, shit, man, like, it's like, you sort of wish for something and then you get it, and then you're like, God damn, maybe that wasn't such a good thing. I mean, that's the part where I have to unfortunately admit, as much as I've sort of hated some things, like it's also by the sheer fact that I have to interact with the public, that it's kept me around people and at least talking to some women, right? Otherwise, I don't know, man. With my disposition and nature and just age too, where it's just harder to form friends and social circles as you get older. If you're like go work somewhere where you basically didn't really interact with anyone anymore, I mean, what would you have left at that point, And what would you be able to form just outside of work, realistically, Probably, questionably, not much, It's like, oh, well, there's like meetups and stuff, like, yeah. It's the thing, you're no longer at the age where, you're sort of, when you get older, like, the other people around your age, more or less, like, they're sort of established in their lives and social stuff. It's not like when you're younger, everyone else is generally single too, and is still sort of forming friendships and all that. I'm not sure. It's you could make a very valid argument for, that's it would get you away from like the craziness of the public sometimes, but it would also make you alone. And other than that, who would you be interacting with at that point? What, your parents, maybe some coworkers here and there. You'd like see somebody at a store and I don't know. It's actually almost kind of a scary thought, if I have to be honest. And on that note, I guess this will do it for the video. It's Saturday noon, folks. Got the rest of today off, tomorrow off. sitting in my room with the shades completely closed down, trying to block as much sunlight from getting in. There's nobody in the house. I'm wondering why the hell I even said that to the girl. What the fuck are you even doing, man?